Hi, this is Lee Solden. This is World Languages Live. Today is August 7th, 2020. It's about 5:08 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. Today is Friday. Um, I'm continuing this series on teaching Dutch with a method of natural language acquisition that I personally stumbled upon, came up with, tried to improve. Um, and I think I got a really good system. I think it's a very easy way to learn Dutch or any other language for that matter. For that matter. Um, okay, today I'm going to be continuing on to tell you what this guy is saying on a video. His name is Slash Depover. I've posted it before. Halfway through today, this evening, I'll probably end up doing this in two parts. And I'll post that video again as a link to this video. And I'm asking people to get started learning Dutch by doing the first step, to listen to a lot of Dutch. And specifically, I want you to listen to this guy. It's a 7-minute long audiobook on YouTube, and start listening to it. Just loop it. You don't know how to loop it on your phone, you have to figure out how to do a playlist on your phone and use the repeat function. You just keep playing it over and over. And does not need to take any of your time to do that. Let's say you're studying for an exam. Hey, play it. Play it very low. There are some studies that say that hey, playing a foreign language in the background actually helps you study. Um, so not loud enough to interfere if you're studying, but it's just there. If you like to listen to music and play the Dutch, okay? And very quickly, I'm going to tell you the rest of my program. There's no studying involved anywhere in this, by the way. In case you don't like to study, hey, if you want to learn something really fast without studying, learn it just like a child learns a language. Children don't study, yet they learn their language just fine. They pick it up by surrounding themselves with the language. They're born into a situation where they have no choice. If you're born in Spain, you're going to hear Spanish being talked in the household. So all around you, there's Spanish being spoken. Um, so if you want to learn Dutch, surround yourself with Dutch. It does not have to be very loud. It should never take any of your time. If a kid's playing with his building blocks, he's not going to take time out from that to learn Spanish. If he lives in Spain, he's just going to play with his building blocks. In the background, he's hearing the Spanish. Second step in my program is to very quickly, within days usually, get you hearing the language quite well. And again, this takes a little bit of time, a little bit of active listening, but only an hour a day for 2 or 3 days before you could hear it well enough to start learning it in most cases. And that's the case for Dutch for most people. It just doesn't take that long to where you're hearing it quite correctly. Now, how's that go? Ear tuning exercises. I have you start listening to Dutch carefully and following and attempting to follow my ear tuning syllables, where I have, using English letters, exactly what you should be hearing for each syllable of Dutch being spoken. So you're trying to match these ear tuning syllables with what's being spoken. And you can't do that. It's impossible. If you don't have if your ear is not tuned to Dutch, you cannot do this. But yet, that's how it goes. You keep trying it for 1 hour a day for 2 or 3 days, and boom, all of a sudden your ear will tune into Dutch. And I'll be glad to help anybody personally, one on one. I don't charge to teach Dutch. If you call me on Facebook Messenger, it usually takes me an hour to get someone going on ear tuning. A lot of people don't need my help at all, but depending on your language, you may not understand my direction. So I would have to go one little step at a time, make sure you understand it. That's how it goes when you're speaking two different languages. It might take a while, but I can tell you how to do the ear tuning exercises. Then a couple days later, you're hearing the Dutch pretty good. Then what do you do with that? Then you don't know. You don't study. You use that good ear for Dutch to soak up the language. So how do you do that? Well, that very same video you've been listening to, that first was just kind of noise to you, couldn't make no sense out of it. Now it's sounding pretty clear. Okay, and I'm still telling you to ignore it at this point for the most part. But now that you can hear it correctly, your ear will be drawn toward it, and that's okay. But I don't want you to concentrate on it. I don't want to take any of your time listening to the Dutch, even after you start hearing it pretty good. Okay, now you will start doing a thing called read-throughs, which is the third step in my program. So first step, surround yourself with Dutch. Second step, do the ear tuning exercises. Listen to my previous, did a whole series on how to learn languages in general here. And then I started doing this series on how to learn Dutch. And I keep repeating how to do ear tuning exercises. So I'm not going to cover that today. Go back and watch the other videos. The next thing, read-throughs. Read-throughs, again, is not studying. Instead, it's just looking over some notes, seeing what a sentence means in Dutch, and then by understanding your notes. And so just for the moment, you know what that sentence means. And then you play it while reading it. And then you play it a couple more times. Then you close your eyes and just play it and listen very carefully. The first day you do this, you may still not pick up, even though you looked at your notes, kind of know academically academically you know what the Dutch says. It doesn't mean you understand it when the Dutch is spoken full speed to you. That's okay. You just go to sleep. Next day, you wake up, do the same thing again. You'll notice that your speech center has been helping you out overnight. You have this thing called a speech center, which I call a supercomputer for languages. Everyone has it. It only gets stronger with age, and the more languages you learn, the stronger it gets yet. So overnight, this Dutch, which seemed kind of foreign to you the day before, second day you're on my program of doing the read-throughs, is going to start sounding more familiar, and you're starting to go, oh, I kind of get what he's saying. And then the next day, a little clearer. It's not an overnight process, or even in 1 week later, you may not know exactly what he's saying, but you're going to start getting a pretty good grip on what he's saying as he's saying it in Dutch. And meanwhile, you continue doing those ear tuning exercises, always striving to get a native ear for Dutch. So, okay, now what do you do with all that? You start doing read-throughs. Now, you can't do read-throughs if nobody tells you what the sentences are. So today, I started yesterday. Watch that. What I did yesterday. I told you what some of the sentences mean, and also I just posted the first several sentences, including yesterday's and the ones I'm going to go over today. I posted the sentences in let me say Spanish, Portuguese first, I think, Spanish, and then German, and then French, and then Italian, which I'm going to embarrass myself by reading all that to you in a little bit. Okay, do the best I can. I'm not trying to teach you today. I'm not trying to teach you Italian, nor Brazilian, Portuguese, etc. This is for people who know those languages to be able to better understand what is there. Now, obviously, I just posted it. Not everybody is necessarily capable of reading what I posted. Okay, they may know Italian because of vision problems. Maybe it's not so easy for them to be able to read it. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it. It's just a one minute of, at this point, 1 minute and 10 seconds, about 1 minute of speech. And I'm gonna do that in several languages just to help people out a little bit. Okay, so with that said, there's my program. I'm inviting as many people as possible to learn Dutch. if you are learning Dutch from me, please like my post. Let me know there's some interest in this, and please leave a comment saying that you're trying to learn it, and let me know how you're doing over the next months. Okay. Um, I don't think it's going to take that long to teach you a whole lot of Dutch. Okay. So I hope you stick with it. And so two things I tell every student: don't stop the passive listening. Number two, don't stop the ear tuning. Even when you start hearing this Dutch really well in a few days, still keep some level of ear tuning, like maybe go from 1 hour a day down to a half hour a day, and a couple weeks later go down to 15 minutes a day, etc. A little less and less, but your initial time you put in doing the ear tuning exercises will have you picking up Dutch a whole lot faster than trying to learn the words. It's the ear that is so important. If you get a native ear for Dutch, you'll soak it up really fast. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get a native ear right away, but you keep trying toward that native ear. Okay. So yesterday, I left off on, see here. Okay. So yesterday, I went over the first big long sentence that he introduced himself with really quick, or introduced the video briefly, and that was about 25 seconds long or so. And the last thing he said was, um, wir lernen, okay, to learn, okay. Okay, hold up a second. Okay, aha, I see what I did. I went to the wrong section. Okay, here we go. So the last thing was better to learn. I'll say that. I guess I'll cover that first sentence really quick. But listen to yesterday's video. Goeiedag means hi. Beste kijkers means ladies and gentlemen, basically best onlookers, kijkers. Ik maak dit filmpje. Okay, I made this film for Lee to help. Hij heeft mij dat gevraagd. He has me that asked because omdat hij jullie that he that you all jullie is you plural. Daarmee bedoel ik dus mensen. So there's a comma there. So therewith he means thus mensen, that's people, die graag, that gladly, Nederlands willen leren, that will want to learn Dutch, they call it Nederlands. Tegemoet will komen means will meet, that's phrase. Will komen is will come. Tegemoet means to meet. So you'll get, okay, with, met, the juiste means like, it sounds like just. It means right or correct. The right materialen om het beter te leren. For it, het is it, better to learn. Beter te leren. Okay. Het can also mean the, or it's used for neutral nouns. Okay. Okay, alle. Now, new material. This is, I'm going to go slower now. This is new material. Alle wogen zijn eigen theory, okay, theory, sorry. Okay, alle. That's just to say like, hey, you know, that's all. It doesn't mean any, there's no exact meaning to that. It's just an expression. Wogens. Wogens means according to. Following. Wogens. Okay. Let me pronounce it better. Volgens. Volgens. Zijn eigen. Okay, zijn is his. Okay. Eigen. Eigen. His. Own. Sein eigen. His own. Theory, if you look at it, you look how it's spelled, you can see it's the word theory, but anyway, they don't pronounce THs in Dutch, so that you see a TH, it's theorie, okay, for theory. Okay, zou deze manier, okay, shall this manner, the comma, dat hij jullie will tonen, that you all will show. Dot is that. Again, they don't have THs, so they use a D. That. Hij means he. Yully. Here listen to the yeah, you, yeah, but it's plural. Yully. Okay. Will is just will, or wants to sometimes. Anyway, will. Tonen. Tonen, again, means it's the word for show. It's a verb. Okay. Okay. Ervoor moeten zorgen. Therefore, you take care. Moeten means must. Zorgen, to take care. That. Yet. Well, yet, here's some West Flanders cropping up into his speech, okay? It's perfectly okay. It's a combination of y, which is you, and het, which is it. So yet is you, it. That, you, it. On a, open, op is on, a, natuurlijk, okay, natural, manier, manner, can, leren, learn, okay? Thus, dat je het ook, okay, thus, that you, dat je, 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 het ook, it, also, open toffe manier, okay, op, on, a, toffe means fun, manier, manner, kan leren. So, hey, he's saying it's a natural manner, and he's saying it can be a fun manner. He's hoping. Okay, een misschien and perhaps. Okay, een. Excuse me, I mispronounced that. N, not een. N means and. Like I'm going to say and, but I'm putting the D off, so it's just and. But okay, not that close to English. But if he's saying N in Dutch, you can kind of tell this is the word and a lot of times. It's close enough. Dutch is a little closer to English in general than German is, and German's pretty close too. Okay. And then we got misschien. Misschien means perhaps. Zelfs means even. Op een snellere manier. Okay, zelfs is even, op is on again, a sneller, faster, sneller. And I'm not sure how he pronounces that. You have to listen. Once your ears tune in, listen to that. See how he says that. Trailing E's in German, which I'm much more used to, is always but he may be saying sneller. The I'm not sure. Okay, so sneller manier, fast. Okay, snel is fast. Anyone's learning Dutch from German, they know that already. Sneller, faster, right? Sneller manier, faster manner. So he's saying perhaps, because he's new to my system. He's been, he's not trying to lie to you. He's saying he's giving you what he knows so far. Anyway, dus bij deze. Well, okay, dus bij deze. That's a phrase that means with that.